performing jungler to date. So with it being the knockout stages, he has to formulate, or at least Coach TG has to formulate a new pick. But it is going to be Chami picking up the Dharma, which again was a quite contested pick that I found out between these two teams when I was looking through the data towards the beginning of today. And it looks like Blacklist are going to get it. They had to either ban out the Dharma or the Orgrim, but they decided to go for the Orgrim.
Yeah, and one of the top 3 choices as well, HOKC, Dharma is ranking 3 from the 2 ladies that we just mentioned, and it gives so much power in terms of clash lane pushes, and this is what Blacklist International wants to play with. Having control in the clash lane, probably in the first minute or so, that could give also tempo for their team too. But for Team Secret, the idea, it has been like kind of like a situational power pick option for Team Secret to use, but in the right hands, the idea is just really stubborn to control.
Yeah, I mean, Yuhan has actually been playing the more of the Enchantress kind of supports that we see compared to the tanky side that we see on Blacklist, as you now know that Chaz locks in the Zhong Fei. So going for the Zhong Fei, one of his probably biggest win rate heroes for himself, Chaz, but I'm very excited to see the difference between these two support playing styles, right? So you've got the Enchantress like the Diadea, you've got the Zhong Fei with the great counter engage that you can kind of try and use that Unbridled Outrage to stop that Unruly Blades coming through. But it is going to be Shishan picking up the Ganamo, which we saw yesterday, a fantastic performance.
Yeah, and also a great peel too, and a lot of teams demonstrated that what could be the possible great way of amount of damage that you can dish against a Zhong Fei or anybody in the front line is just Gun and Mo. Whether in the front, whether in the back, you just need to be protected most of the time, because the moment you got spotted by the Gun and Mo in the hands of Team Secret, they know how to use this properly and make everything work in their favor in frontline peels.
Yeah, I mean, I believe this happened between the two Indonesia teams yesterday, right? They took the Zhong Fei, the opposite team took the Gan and Mo. Didn't quite work out the way they wanted it to, because they was trying to just take that one moment, that one opportunity, that one shot to use the Unbridled Outrage to catch out the Gan and Mo, and it only worked once or twice. But we see the Angela and the Lady Shen being banned out.
One thing on Gan and Mo is that I actually, going into this tournament, I was actually kind of laughing at Kin, because he's been preaching Gan and Mo so much. He's just been saying how good it is. Yeah. But the thing is that it's been picked 10 times already in the group stage. It has a 70% win rate, so I got to give props where props are due, and Kin is actually kind of right on this one.
Hey, I mean, we all do learning at sometimes, right? And Kin, I mean, we said this yesterday, right? A broken clock is right at least 2 times a day. And Kin, I'll give it to him. It can be right sometimes more than 2 times, but that time he was right on the Gan and Mo pick. But we see the Charlotte being picked here for the side of TS. Again, another prominent pick that we've seen through the group stages up into the clash lane. So it's going to be Chami going against Shu Wan's Charlotte.
Yeah, also Blacklist banning out the Renji, even the Luong. They have no farm lane just yet for Team Secret. And this is like the average kind of counter for the ladies to be reached from the back line. Ooh. And most of the cards that they have done is complete protection for this hero alone. Their win condition, the Han Shin and the Princess Frost, we've seen the wonders of these 2 heroes alone to dominate like 0.5% of the map. And it will work. Depending on how Team Secret would like to address this, even hold it through in the early game.
Yeah, I mean, this Han Shin pick, right? It is Friday, friends. Friday is HOK Day, and us casters actually had a few matches beforehand. Hey, I'm gonna have to flaunt it. We had back-to-back wins, and the last game I had Han Shin, right? And Tank Han Shin, I didn't really like going into this competition, but once I've played him, I understand why. You have great wave to clear into your enemy. You're able to get back out with the second activation of your first ability, but you're also able to get that knockup, which onto the likes of like the Gan and Mo and the Marco Polo could be vital.
Yeah, man, it has sustainable damage, and you can just be go 1-on-1 or 1v2 depending on the situation and how you play things, but it is just a very good pick right now. And we see the coaches do the handshake, and as we head to the game, this is the best of 5. We're on to the knockouts, and we're about to see another matchup that we have been waiting from day number 1 in HOKC. Who's going to have the upper advantage in terms of the early game?
I mean, in terms of the early game, I can't call it right. It depends on how these lanes go. If we get some kind of dominance between either these two teams taking a 2v1 up into the clash lane. But right now, we're seeing that Blacklist are laying it on pretty thick in the early game, trying to get some damage over to the side of Team Secret. But I like how Team Secret decided to not do the typical red side picks in the prio rather than going for their bot lane, farm lane, team comp. They went for the Diadea and go for the Dune. And Dune has had a fantastic performance and win rate within this tournament because he's just so tanky. He's able to just sit in your front line, soak all those skills, and then you can go in.
Yeah, man, he just literally took the advantage of taking the red out of Just G right away. So TNX, with that early game invade in the camp, this would really put Just G in the pressure. Like, would you go in a counter to even dive into the camp of Team Secret early on? Because they have been lacking information at that moment. And that was a great step to maybe make things around for Team Secret.
Yeah, I like how they're taking the Lady Sun from Sun as well, right? 'Cause Sun has had a fantastic performance on the Lady Sun. No pun intended. That is his name. Don't wear it out. But look at this. We've just won a few of these skins as well, Fang. The Friday pre-made ranked matches. Friday is Hawk Day. Go in there, win a match, get the skin.
Yeah, and as we look at this pre-made ranked matches you have to win, guys, go ahead, join in because you have more chances of getting this. Now we're looking at the focus onto the Clash lane and the bottom lane as well. So this is like the force of how the Sanctuary can do, how to babysit this Ladies and Golden Kite. It's more likely like a push and pull kind of situation by not dying early on.
This is what we want to see, though, right? We want to see some of the domination into the side of both of these lanes, but more importantly, it is going to be the Tyrant. Almost getting catched out there is Shuan. He's not going to fall because there's just not enough damage at level 4. But back to the point, we see the domination, we see the prioritizing for Blacklist to try and get a lead in the farm lane, so taking the Tyrant, the neutral objective, can be easier at that point.
Yeah, and looking at this situation, we've seen rotation from Aaron now, from Clash lane to mid lane. It's more likely counter and vision as well because they can't do much just yet. And as you said, they can't commit to any team fights moving on because they don't have the damage to do so.
Don't have the damage to do so. We do see that Champion 1 was able to try and take that teleport minion up in the top lane as well, just to try and set up a better neutral objective fight for them. Shuan going in here though, but is it going to get Champion? Oh, okay. Don't commit. The T1 could have done some damage. We could have had the Truth Mansion come through because he's level 5. He has it now. Again, they're going back for this 1v1. Just trying to take those minion waves down so they can kind of get a little bit more of a push and that Shuan can get given the green light.
Yeah, and comparing most of the gold that we see here in our bars, like a Just G, so far, despite the early invade that the TNX did, he kind of kept his tracks correctly, right? I don't know, this start of Blacklist International is kind of like they're taking it really slow, but more precise on what to get. Because at the moment that we've seen their matches, it's more likely in a defensive, like passively way of way of moving around the map. But so far, they're more precise in handling these things because they're not really in the right moment, as I repeated once again. That's why we see more of the macro invades. We're looking at the mirror invades as well for the jungle camps, and not commitments to anybody here in any of the lanes.
Yeah, not quite. But if you look at the itemization, you kind of see that Hanshin's going for the Blazing Cape first, right? That anti-heal item, especially for the likes of the Diadea. Diadea going in with the immobilization, but he's going to get knocked back there thanks to the Zhong Fei. But right now, it's 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1, till those neutral objectives are up. Tyrant and Overlord are now activated. We see that Shuan was actually able to get that and go down with a teleport. It's a clear neutral objective for the side of TS.
Yeah, it's completely denied by Team Secret. I know Blacklist International right now would really have that advantage on having the damage buff early on, but so far they're just trying to slow down the process of the growth of this Lady Sun. And this is like kind of like they're leaving the Overlord open as well. So far, Blacklist is not like trying to mind these kinds of objectives being stolen away by Team Secret. Probably they would know what to cover this time.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're kind of seeing a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. We saw the Team Secret's able to get the extra bit of gold difference here, and it looks like Blacklist are going to secure themselves a little bit of that neutral objective once more. So 50-50 split between these neutral objectives means that Blacklist are going to have a few more bits of aid in these lanes. Right now, there is a lot of priority for the side of Team Secret. We do get the Winterers coming to annihilate that minion wave in the mid lane, because that T1 falls, that's a very crucial part of the fight.
Yeah, that's the zone now. Like the lineup of Black right now is totally like a frontline protection to not commit to any possible mistakes that they can do. Team Secret, on the other hand, is kind of like looking for an avenue to utilize this gun more properly, but Blacklist is really covered the traction. Look at that. We're seeing posts from TNX, but Black just got a turret down bottom, and they have a push by taking the Overlord with them.
Yeah, and just to point out that little like mid lane kind of like flirtatious between the two junglers, that's what I like about the Hanshin, right? Able to get in, get out, and basically shake it all about.
Well, Hokey Cokey work, and they found Juicy. He's about to die, and Sun will take first blood, takes out Juicy, got him caught out. Looks like they're going to convert this into a top T1 as well.
I mean, some may say it was a juicy first blood and a juicy T1 up into the Clash lane, right?
They're going in, Jamie. He's taking a lot of damage. Sun is just chasing him in. He has to flash away. The Resplendent Revolver not on point. Sun, though, doesn't want to dive this T2.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mis-aimed Splendid Revolver, right? I mean, that could have been gone in. That could have been aimed onto Chami, and that would have been deadly. But speaking of deadly here, we're getting a little bit of an engage. The couple blades come through. T1 looking to go down in the mid lane. They are opening up.
Black with the Stampede on the backside. He's trying to chase after Sun, but Aaron is actually going to be the first to fall. Yuan is a little bit low. They need to be careful. TNX is taking some damage. The Enlightenment doing some work, but it looks like they're going to back off. Golden Kite is down for the count. It's a 2-0 in favor of Team Secret.
This is like a struggling front line lineup right now for Black. Like, despite having the Venomous Staff present from Princess Frost, it's just so hard for Chaz to position correctly in front of Team Secret. The moment that they swap lanes from bottom lane to top lane, it was like a clear call that they have the enough efficient items, and they have been so good in rotating and forcing out a lot of resources out of Chaz. So that's why so far it was so hard for them to be in the front line most of the time.
Yeah, starting from the bottom, now they're here. But we now see that TSN is able to build up the Doomsday, but also the attack speed boots. And then TNX was able to get that Eye of the Phoenix, right? So we saw in the itemization in the early part of the game, that was looking at those the second tier items. But here we go.
Replay. They found Aaron, they caught him out. Juan is continuing to run. Chami, Formless is back. Now Team Secret is really good at taking one kill, converting it into other towers. It looks like this is going to be a free mid T2 here.
They know how to crash in though, right? I mean, they had the minion wave coming through. There's only 1 or 2 minions, but that was all they need. They need a few minions and a dream, and they can make things happen. Team Secret really opening up Blacklist here. I mean, we've seen a little bit more of a calm, collective Team Secret, but a lot of damage going on to TNX.
The backside, the Umbrella Outburst. They've got TNX. They do lock him down, and they do get the kill. They're just trying to protect the red buff. Juicy will be able to pick this one up, but Chami, not so lucky. He goes down.
Chami.
Yeah, Team Secret has been making all the cracks in the plate here from Blacklist International.
Revolver with a Fever Barrage, and Sun has started to style on him. Finding Juicy and being able to pick him off twice, that's got to be a disaster and a real feel-bad moment for Juicy.
It's like a slow and painful death. Right?
Going in for this one, they dives over the wall. Golden Kite is going to be killed. Juan continue to chase, throwing out those tri-slashes like they're going out of style, and Aaron's going to back off.
Okay, we see the lineup of Black right now completely struggle. Chami, one, can't find avenues to use that ultimate out of Team Secret, but even for
Revolver, Yuan, they're going to get out of the way. Chami thought about going for this, but the winner is here is going to zone them away. Team Secret, not able to get to the bottom T2 at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron on the Princess Frost, it's not doing as well as we thought it would, right? The zoning mechanics cannot come through because they are playing on the back foot. They are behind around about 5k gold, and the turrets are just falling left, right, and center. The T2 up into the Clash lane looking pretty low as well, but if you look at the itemization, you see the Eye of the Phoenix, the Blazing Cape, the Scepter Reverberation, the Sparkforged Dagger. That attack speed's already activated on the Marco Polo, and he has the Doomsday. Those abilities and basic attack are going to hurt.
Yeah, not yet for the Shadow Ripper though for Golden Kite. They're leaning towards like a more of a defensive passive play now because they don't have the damage to do so. So we see the lineup struggle once again, and the lead slowly building up on 6k.
Chami looking to go. He gets a nice truth, connecting out of 3 with the Umbrella Lumber, and they start to smash it down. They've got 3 thus far. Make it 4. What a play by Chami 1.
Wow, what a setup, right? 5-7. That's exactly what Blacklist need going back into this. They got to make sure that that Clash lane doesn't get taken out there. We see that Chami is rotating around, but this is a little bit of a lifeline, right? This doesn't happen 2 times in a match. If it does, it's on the backs of Team Secret.
Finally, an opening for Blacklist International. They have been waiting for that ultimate to show from Chami 1. Again, it wasn't even a perfect early game for these two. The tower, the top lane T1 tower has not been taken yet, so this only shows that the job is not done yet for Blacklist. If they can recover from this quickly and they know who to strike from the backline of Team Secret, this would actually work. Just need to weigh things earlier and check where the waves are coming from, because right now we're looking at Suwon maintaining the waves as well, so they need to be careful on their next steps moving forward, even by taking it. So far, no commitment yet from Blacklist, just vision from Just She.
Yes, the neutral objective looks like it's more than likely going to go over to the favor of TS. But Juicy could go in here. He does get a bit of a reset, but I feel like that's a bit of a bait, right? They're just waiting for the handshake to go in. He's not going to be able to get in there. He doesn't get over the wall, doesn't clear it, but they do take the Tyrant, the Overlord, sorry. So Shadow Overlord, they get the Vanguard so they can try and maintain and claim some of this prioritization in
trying to go
the
in
lane.
for this one. Juan, they find it, but the Umbrella Loppers, they connected on the two
Oh,
with the truth. Yet again, Chammy won with these amazing truths.
Frigid Prison, right on point. Crowd control, devastation. Blacklist completely made Team Secret react to fall back in their base once more.
This is what I find really interesting, right? Team Secret were just waiting the moment to kind of prise open Blacklist, try and open the envelope to see who is on that list. But right now, you see Blacklist opening up Team Secret. They're trying to find out what that secret ingredient is to their recipe of victory. And right now, we could be seeing those high ground turrets going over to Blacklist. But right now, there's a mobilization.
Oh, Juicy getting gone on. He's going to be picked off. Sun just focusing him out, but he trades his life for that mid T3. They have the Shadow Vanguard at the top with the Resplendent Revolver on the chest, trying to slow him down. They do get the pick off. Chisan's couple blades are on point.
Yeah, a lot of damage coming from that point there of Team Secret that was able to just wipe out the Zhongfei, which is going to be troublesome going into defending their base now.
Look at the net worth. I mean, it's neck and neck. I mean, they've been just going back and forth, and Blacklist International really strike back, taking out the mid T3. They've taken so many objectives to kind of clear their way and their chance back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, the gold lead, right? It's something that we saw earlier, that Team Secret was leading with about 5k gold. It's crazy, but now Blacklist, the Jammy Chammy himself, getting those two fantastic truth mantras. The crowd control is crazy.
Yeah, completely crazy, man. Like the Vision Sprite. This is the new thing on the battlefield. It's a new mechanic. It is now available from October 17th, 31st. Now, going back on how Blacklist International was lacking that lead. Now, slowly, they're closing it in for almost 1k against Team Secret. And if they keep on doing this, they would have a chance to do this. So, more likely on the same situation from the early game that they were losing. But three-man here is
going to walk into them. They find all five. The Unbridled Outburst pushing him back, and they have it on the backside. Chisan getting a little bit low. Needs to be careful. The winner is here. Is not enough. Aaron is going to take out Chisan, and they want more. TNX is on the run, but on the backside, Juicy mudding on too deep. He's trying to get away with the Ruthless Assault. He dashes. Chaz goes right in for the Stampede, but Suns, Fever Barrage, not doing enough damage. Jamie still continuing to fight. Juan wants it. He gets Golden Kite. He gets the pick off. They get Jamie as well, and take out Aaron. That's a 3-for-1.
Yes. Wow, what a team fight. I thought that Zhongfei was actually going to be able to turn that to the side of Blacklist, but it wasn't. It was literally Team Secret. They just had the mobilization and fighting on different fronts there. Was able to then take them to this high ground turret. Payback Blacklist for that disrespect onto their base.
Yeah, they need to buy time as well. Waves pushing in from top to mid. We still have like 14 seconds for 3 members to come to show from Blacklist, and they need to defend this once more. 2 members left though. Team Secret can still even push this further in the base.
Yeah, they want to get it, but they found Chaz on the wrong side. They use the Fever Barrage, and they just want to blow him up, and they do blow up Chaz. But now Juicy trying to take away the creeps. They have Chammy, Golden Kite, Aaron back on stack. They're going to deal with the minions, and it looks like Team Secret are going to back off.
For now. I mean, they have to kind of reformulate. They have the 5k gold lead once more for the side of Team Secret. The Shadow Overlord, Shadow Tyrant coming through for a second bow. But let's look at this replay, right? This was a team fight that we thought went in their favor. Unbridled Outrage came through, but we saw Shishuan was able to get all the way into the backside of that team fight, but Aaron's able to shut him down. And then there was just too much damage over onto the side of Blacklist. Team Secret was able to formulate a great counter.
Yeah, they need to be careful in those kinds of positioning. Like, they know they want to check some visions right out of Blacklist from the moment that they can see a movement right into their own camp. It was just like of a deadly situation that they need to fall back once more. Because again, who's the mobile hero here from Team Secret? Either the Dun has the hook as well to gun in.
Juan sacrifices himself for the rest of the team to take out that Tyrant, but he was in a bad spot. He tried to go all in on Aaron, who does survive.
Just about, right? I mean, look at that. That is teetering on the edge of death. He was very close to be taken down as a 1v1 trade for Team Secret. But hey, a death for that Shadow Tyrant is very important. They have that extra damage. To the likes of the Ganamo, to the Marco Polo as well, is going to do an increased amount of damage onto the side of Blacklist.
Yeah, we're looking at 2 buffs taken by TS as well as the red 2 for Sun. So looking at the gap here, it's back on almost like 6k. And they need to be careful. Look at the wraparound.
Just Juicy goes with it with Ruthless Assault, gets the knock up. The Unbridled Outburst. TNX is in a worse spot, but he unruly blades back to safety. Blacklist International now making their way to the bottom lane here.
This is the problem. Team Secret.
All the Fever Barrage going in. Golden Kite taking most of that damage. Sun, Resplendent Revolver does get the pick off, and they do have the damage. The Wind Slash is going to knock up too, but Chammy's already been killed. Chaz looks like he's just going to delay the inevitable. He's going to die. That's a double kill going the way of Sun, and they found the pick off on Aaron. Juicy walks away. He's going to recall back to safety, but he is the lone survivor here.
Oh my goodness, this could be it, man, for Team Secret to push forward. There's a lot of waves pushing in up top, and they're really chasing this, and they really want to deny Joshi defending this, but so far, a good defense too. First one to go, but can they still defend?
Yeah, they're trying to go in. Yuhan actually joins him into the fountain. He's going to get picked off. That was a little shaky, but nonetheless, they've gotten the base. Team Secret will take game one.
Oh man, that was so close at several points in that match. That could have gone either way, right? To Blacklist, to Team Secret, but you can kind of understand why Blacklist wanted this group. It has been a feisty game one, and we've still potentially got 4 more rounds.
Great match, right? And that's kind of what you wanted. You wanted to see them kind of, trade back and forth with some of these team fights. In the end, Team Secret were able to find that one good team fight that just took them over the edge.
Yeah, and we've seen that moment before, but it was like the Lady Sun doing the work and clearing off the base. They know how to divide. Like Team Secret, from the most of the games that we saw and how they performed, they know how to divide, they know how to conquer, they know the strength, right? That moment when the outburst was released too early and they got picked off like 4, it was like a go signal right away for Team Secret to go into the base, because that wave coming from up top was the perfect scenario to end the game quicker.
I think the problem was that Chazzy towards the end there, Chaz, he was able to get those early unbridled outrages to perfection, but then towards the late game, they just did not connect at all. Like you saw that last one we saw in the mid lane, he went in with Juicy, they were all able to flash out on the side of Team Secret, hit not a single sausage on the side of Team Secret, right?
Yeah, and I think it really comes back to just letting Chammy one do the initiations. He seems to have a really good knack and that instinct for when you want to go in and kind of set things up. And once he knocks you all back with the truth, then he kind of sets you up with the unbridled outburst, and you kind of have that huge advantage there.
Let's check out the highlights.
Hi everyone, I'm Yuhan, and I'm the official 2024 HOK Championship Observer. The tournament highlight of the day is here. 3, 2, 1, showtime!
We're back to where everything started for Team Secret. Blacklist would really want to patch things up with their broken blade, but it was just complete destruction from top to bottom. This came when they switched places from the bottom lane head to the platform.
Yeah, this was a game one of just trying to make sure, or trying to even limit test what was going on in this game one, right? So we saw many times, especially the first team to do so was Team Secret. So they were able to open up Blacklist, and then towards the end, we saw that 4-man crowd control from Chammy 1. So you can guarantee, right, that Dharma is more likely going to get taken off in the Prio Bands of Game 2, right?
Kind of felt like Chammy 1 would need to do something like a play. Like, he has been doing it at a perfect angle. The layering of that outburst was totally perfect, but when Team Secret knew on how Blacklist layers this kind of initiations or team fighting prowess, they read through it. Like, there were some scenarios they were really beating out that outburst. Despite having the Tyrant with them, being out position as well, this gave them so much time. This gave them so much comeback too. But this specific moment when Chaz let go of the outburst earlier, this was it's like a clean scenario to push things forward, and Blacklist completely was defenseless, and the base was so slowly becoming more open to Team Secret.
Yeah, some of the trick shots from Aaron were perfection, right? But in the early part of the game, he was definitely sort of the weakest link within that team comp, right? So they know on the side of Team Secret, hey, this is how we open up Blacklist. Aaron doesn't look as confident as the rest of the team, so we'll go and take him down. We'll take that team fight in the mid lane. We'll take the T1 as well, maybe even the T2, and we'll just open it that way. But then after that, it's kind of like Blacklist was like, right, okay, so you want to jump on Aaron? We are going to jump on you, and that's when Chammy started to activate. But unfortunately, for the side of Blacklist, it wasn't enough to take game 1, but they may take game 2.
Do you think Juicy on the Hanshin was 100% comfortable on that hero?
No.
No. I didn't think so either.
And I think the pressure of the Diadeer as well, the immobilization, was just hard to kind of dumb around, because the only CC immunity you have is on his ultimate. But speaking of MVPs, it is going to be Sun. I didn't expect anybody else, because with the Splendid Revolvers, the Fever Barrage from this guy was literally on point. 31% damage, 17% damage taken, and then 7 kills, 1 death, 6 assists.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this Marco Polo here to be picked up by these teams, right? And for the last days of the group stage, we've seen it push through, but Team Secret here had more ways to have utilization over the counters farm lane of Blacklist International, mainly because of how slippery and how invulnerable or vulnerable the teams are once he dives in with the Fever Barrage. It's just that the mechanic of this guy alone completely deals so much pressure in the side of Blacklist. Going back on this draft, what went wrong here? Like, look at 136 on Just G being on defensive. As you guys mentioned, the idea was becoming one of the problems on the front line, and Zhangfei and even even Dharma can only do a little bit much, and they need to sacrifice more of their life to make a play out of it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem, right? The Hanshin, you can see, and the Zhangfei here, this was all to try and take down the Gan and Mo. But we see that Xishan only died twice, so